Okay, today I'm going to do something a little different outside of what I would normally do. I guess hence different. I'm going to show you guys how to, I'm going to reduce some thermal paste on an already dead board, so I also have an anti-static mat underneath here, so I'm completely grounded. Typically you don't work on metal with a motherboard, but since this thing's hooched, it won't harm anything. It's surprisingly easy to do if you have the proper tools. Now, I did this not too long ago, if I'm remembering correctly, so there's already paste on it. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing something different in the video. Something I would typically do at work. And this is one of those things, once you've done it enough times, you get a knack for it. You can almost pretty much do it in your sleep. Typically, this isn't something I recommend for a person at home to do, because you have to be grounded pretty good to do this. Oh, I guess there is no thermal paste on this. Okay, well. Alrighty, so in that case I can lock that back down then. It's been a little while since I've had this apart, so. Now, people have different ways of doing it. My boss suggested this method for laptops only, and it does seem to work good. Just a little bit going diagonally across the CPU. Like that. I think that's probably too much. So I'm going to carefully clean it. Now again, this is just for demonstration purposes, so if it's not 100% neat, I'm not too worried about it, but the goal with this is to keep it as neat as possible, because you need to keep the surfaces clean. So we'll try this again. That's better. Because when you put the heatsink back on it, it will flatten it out. And again, this is one of those things you really only want to do this once. Now, just to show you that it does spread out evenly, and again, this thing's hooched, and so I'm not too worried about it. About air pockets getting underneath here. It does flatten out. I did have a bit much in there, but again, for the sake of demonstration purposes, I'm not overly concerned with it. Desktops are a little different as for how you do them. Some people just put a P-shape or a P-sized one in the middle of the heatsink and CPU and let gravity spread it out when you close it like this. Some people will take a scraper or a credit card or business card and flatten it out and spread it around. I guess sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I don't think it really matters all that much. I'm sure there are people who will say differently, but for the most part, that's pretty much it. And typically for something like this, I will charge $40 to $50 because it requires, depending on the laptop, a fair bit of disassembly to get at this. In this case, that's the bottom of the board, or so that's the top of the board, so I'd have to yank the top cover, the keyboard, and almost half the laptop apart just to get at this part. So, alright, that's it for now. Have a good day.